Okay, so today we're taking notes on Lesson 8, Classifying Quadrilaterals. What I want you to think about while you're taking notes is what is the difference between rectangles, squares, rhombi, and kites. The important vocabulary that you need to focus on during your note taking is kite, which is a new figure for you to discuss today, right angle, and perpendicular. So using logic is a big part of geometry. Logic helps us understand how things are the same and how things are different. Using logic helps you classify quadrilaterals based on their properties. So we're going to look at 4 different types of quadrilaterals and classify their characteristics. So let's start with the square. What do you notice with the square? First, you should see that it has 4 sides equal in length. Those 4 sides create 4 angles, all 90 degrees each. Take a minute to take this down in your notes. A square has 4 sides equal in length and 4 angles each 90 degrees. Now let's look at how a rectangle is the same and different as a square. First of all, it's different because it has two sets of sides that are equal in length. The opposite sides are equal in length. So that is a difference. But something that they have in common is that both rectangles and squares have 4 angles 90 degrees each. Stop the video and take your notes. Now another shape that we're going to discuss is a rhombus. As you look at a rhombus, you might notice that it also has 4 sides equal in length, similar to a square. But the difference is that a rhombus does not have 90-degree angles. You'll notice that its opposite angles are equal. So for example, these two top and bottom angles, the red angles, would be the same if you measured with if you measured those two angles, and then these two angles across would also be the same in length. So a rhombus is similar to a square because it has 4 sides that are equal in length, but it is different because it does not have 90-degree angles. So the kite is the new shape that we are going to discuss today. Kite is different from the others because this time the 2 top sides are equal in length, and then the 2 sides on the bottom are equal in length. A kite will only have 1 pair of equal angles. So stop the video and take notes on a kite. And I want you to think about yourself, how is the kite similar to any of the other shapes that you took notes on today? Now, if your notes are complete, you should have something on your notebook similar to this that describes the characteristics of a square, a rectangle, the rhombus, and the kite. Pause your notes to make sure they are complete. Okay, so the last thing that we're going to talk about today is the idea of perpendicular lines and right angles. The term right angle is important to this group of quadrilaterals. Any angle that measures 90 degrees is a right angle. The 2 lines that come together to form a right angle are called perpendicular lines. So we're going to look at some examples. Here, these intersecting lines are considered perpendicular. They create a 90-degree angle. You also see perpendicular lines in squares and rectangles. These intersecting lines create a perpendicular line, create a 90-degree angle, because a rectangle has 4 90-degree angles. You can also see lines that are perpendicular in a right triangle. A point to understand is that a square and a rectangle, all angles in squares and rectangles are right angles. So stop the video, make sure you have all your notes, and now we're going to complete the interactive notebook pages corresponding to this lesson.